Yeah, it's me, Matt. I'm here in Vegas. Always in Vegas, stuck in Vegas. Uh, Been trying to review and talk about all the books we publish here at Tila Books Publishing. Still going through them. This book here is by Ron Charleston. It's called The Dream Is Gone. I can't even read the subtitle of that. Anyway, this is one of my favorite books. It's called The Dream Is Gone, Economic Survival in 21st Century America. I can never remember that subtitle. Yeah, this is one of my favorite books. And it was written, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. It's still relevant today. It was written before Trump became president because it's about our economy never being what it was in the past, and the future is bleak. And then, of course, it sold fairly well, and then Trump came along, and I'll be honest, from my point of view, best economy in my lifetime. And yeah, the dream is back. And then, of course, after 4 years, the dream is gone again. And I don't know, maybe that was just a false dawn, and maybe there won't be another dawn. I try to be optimistic. This is temporary. But some of the principles in this book that he talks about are good no matter whether you've got a good or a bad economy. He starts off by talking about credit. He does not like credit, and I'm not a big fan of credit. In a sense that I don't have any credit cards, and I don't buy things, I don't buy anything on time, so I'm a big cash guy, always have been. Well, maybe not always, but for longer than I can remember now. And so, and he talks about weaning yourself away from using credit, and the benefits of not using credit, and why you shouldn't use credit. And basically you're just helping corporations get more money for their product when they shouldn't be getting any more money for their product. In some cases, it's just you're feeding the credit card. If it's a MasterCard or Visa, you're just giving them extra money just for the pleasure of having something now, rather than save up for it. I mean, I'm of the opinion that if you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it, but I'm a cash guy too, and so is Charleston. And then he goes on to talk about how to get out of debt, because you shouldn't be in debt, you shouldn't have debt, and so how to get out of debt, a couple of different techniques in doing it. And then he talks about bankruptcy, not from a legal point of view as a lawyer, but whether you are in a situation economically, your personal finances rather, that you need to consult an attorney. And bankruptcy attorneys, they usually offer free consultation. So if you read this book and say, yeah, I think I'm in that situation, it's something to consider. The downside to bankruptcy is you can't have any credit for 5, 6, 7 years, but at the same time, this book is written by a guy who doesn't believe in credit anyway, so that's not a bad thing. And then eventually you can get credit again, but you shouldn't, and that kind of thing. And he talks about, living below your means, how to do it, and the importance of living below your means so you can have savings. Cash savings, not so you can go blow it, but so you can have that extra money you may need in an emergency, so you don't have to go into debt when the emergency happens. You don't need payday loans, for example. You don't need to use a credit card, and then you have I've seen it before. You go into debt with the credit card because if something happens, you should have had the cash. You don't have the cash, and then you end up paying on this credit card. Monthly payments and the interest, you're just servicing debt, and so much of your income after a while goes to servicing this debt, and eventually maybe you never get out of debt. It's better, you sleep better at night when you don't have credit. That I can tell you for sure. He talks about health care, because that's a big problem we have in America. Some ways to get the cheapest health care possible. Because if you don't have access to some type of insurance or coverage of some sort, you can go into bankruptcy pretty quick with your medical debts. and you can only go into bankruptcy once every whatever 6 years. I don't know what it is. So you got to be careful with that. And then you know, what was the one important thing after the health care he talks about? Let me look at his. Oh yeah, that's another important thing, because he talks at the end about expanding your sources of income. And it's one thing to live below your means. You got a little extra cash, but if you can expand your income, you can have even more cash. And he did write a book a while back about online, making money online. We're in a gig economy. People got, sometimes they call it the side hustle. A lot of people got side hustles going. In some cases, some of this is just cash stuff that people aren't even reporting to the IRS. There's a big underground economy going right now. That's not illegal necessarily with the products, with the services. It's just, you know, unreported income. That's what makes it illegal. I don't think he advocates for doing anything illegal like that. But I like that chapter on expanding your sources of income. You know, I've been telling him to write another book. There's a lot of different ways you can expand your sources of income, and it's a good thing, because at some point you become self-employed, and that's, you know, with no debt, and you're self-employed, you know, you're living free. You don't have to, you know, go completely off the grid to be not dependent upon the system, this economic system we're living in, where they want you to be dependent on a government and the private sector in the situation with debts and credit cards, and then they want you to have car loans, and they want you to be dependent on the corporations. And when I say they, I'm talking about politicians, a combination of corporations and the government. But you can go like partially off the grid. You don't have to be living on a farm somewhere and be self-sufficient, but you can be self-sufficient with income and not depend upon anything but other than your hard work, and not owe the government or owe private sector debts like credit cards. No debt, self-employment. That's what it's all about. He doesn't actually go so far as to call it self-employment, as you can work for other people, but I'm throwing that in myself because I'm self-employed. I think it's an important thing. I don't know if I showed you the cover of this book, but let me put this up there. It's I always like this cover. Basically, it's this really run down, like an abandoned building with this an apartment, and you got the American flag there on the wall, which kind of represent where America was going until Trump became president, in my opinion. And then now Trump got thrown out by the powers that be with some sketchy elections. And oh, we got it great now, right? Let's go, Brandon. Anyway, you might like this book. I'll have a link to Amazon. It's Kindle digital, and there's some other digital places like Apple that you can get it and read it from your digital reader, phone, whatever you're using. Yeah, and then you can see this at our website. You know, I'll put up this video. I put these videos up alongside descriptions of the books on all our books at the website, tila-books.com. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I've got some other books too I want to talk about. But this is an important book. And this is one of my favorites, and we got a really bad economy right now, in my opinion, and this book is helpful. Okay, thanks for listening.